Hi, friends, neighbors, Williams, fellow flyers. I'm going to try to finish this model up today. This may not all be on camera, but I'm going to try to finish up the model today. What I want to do is get this location out smooth. So I take this right here and spin it in just like the instructions say. And then once you have a little hole, it's best not to try to cut that out. What you want to do is you can take a bamboo skewer and wrap sandpaper around it and glue it on. And then with that in place, then you can sand away to get the exact fit slowly. Trying to force or speed this process up can result in being very out of line and messing up your cowling. I'm going to go to the outer line. It's got there's a line here that you can follow, a little indentation line. Just go to the edge of that and try to turn this down so you can see this a little better instead of my face. Highly recommend you doing this. Cutting this out by hand or trying to drill it out any other way can result in some not so smooth results. If you're looking for accuracy, take your time and just go slow. Watch what you do as you do it so that you can kind of keep a nice smooth round hole. Don't poke your eye. This way you can keep the hole a little lower on the cowling if you need to. And then test fit, just go up there and see where you're at with the thrust bearing. You're starting to sit, you can turn it inside or out, either way, either doesn't matter. You can see what you're doing. Slow process, but patience is good. And then you can, it will start leaving a little bitty, it'll leave a little bit of flashing there. You can trim away that little flashing, little sanding flashing. Just easy around there with the X-Acto knife, but it will eventually sand off if I keep it going. Try to keep this as smooth as possible. Watch that, making sure I'm keeping a nice round circle. I added my piece on the bottom, just a solid piece of balsa. I'm not concerned about nose weight. We'll get that to fit right there, and not too worried about that nose weight. Just want to get and test to see what type of fit you get. And I'm satisfied with that fit because it's a snug fit. I still have a little bit of flashing around there. I'm going to trim off some of this flashing. Just a little bit of, when you sand plastic, sometimes it rolls back over the edge a little bit. And okay, to me, that's a good, nice, sturdy fit. Now I put glued C8 some paper on those edges, and the reason I do that is so because I pin the cowling onto the front like so, and then I'll be using these stringers, leftover stringers, as a way of holding the cowling in place. And then of course my rubber band will go in and out of, that's a snug fit, that hole. Now for best performance, you won't want to do this. You will actually build this up and make a box in here. That would be your best performance, but our goal is to get 20 seconds using our kit stuff, and you have enough extra wood. So you come at, this is ideas, you come up with your design. You do what you feel that you need to do. This is your hobby and your interest, your passion. That's what AMA says. I'm AMA. This is my hobby. This is my passion. This is what I like to do. I'm just sharing an idea with you. It works. So now I want to support this plastic more than just this little hole here, and that is a nice tight fit. So I might go just a little bit more. And I won't go too much because I'll be sanding out some more. I'm going to take this wood now, and I'm going to cut out a square that will fit in here that I can super glue in this to support the back of that. And to do that, I just have to know what size I need. And I'll use some scissors to square up the piece of balsa here. You'll need to turn the camera on down a little more. And I'm looking to see if it fits in there. It looks like it is. I just got to go cut this in half here. I'm making sure I have a nice, well, a nice fit. Those, it's going to need two little like cheek cowls or something for the where I have the vent holes. I'm going to kind of sand those away a little bit so I can get that in there smoother. A little indentation on either side. Air vent holes. See if that gives me some room now. And it does, and I can glue that down. So I want to make another one and then put it cross grain. So that one will go that way and that one will go that way. Keep the grains going vertical from each other so that I can have a nice strong piece of plywood at the end. I'm making plywood now. So that goes that way. That will go that way. And let's make another one. We'll make another one. A little piece of here. Okay, then I'll glue that on cross grain again. I'm using super glue for speed up the build, which it will work fine. I like both glues. I like all the glues. That one was a little big, but I had a size to go by. Take these down to the right size. Again. That's about three ply thickness. Check it to see if it fits still. If it's fine. I still have those a little bit of pushback from the cheek of those air vents. So I'm going to tilt that at an angle. Tilt that at an angle. Make sure it's fitting in there nicely, and it looks like it does. I'm using some CA. I'm going to put a little bit on this side, a little bit across the top. Stuck to my finger. Try to twist it loose. We'll just put a little bit all the way around there. Trying to get it all to sit in there nice and smooth and proper. See if it still fits location, and it does. No issues there. And then I will drill it out again. I can use my X-Acto knife here again. Get me a hole started. We'll go on that side and then turn around. Come to this side. Get a hole big enough that I can get my sander in there, sandpaper. Let me go a little bit bigger. Get sandpaper in there, then sand away. Oops, sorry, yelling. Or excitement, that's what it is. Excitement, not yelling. Out to the edge of the plastic there. Now, if you're watching from YouTube, remember the little arrow right and the arrow left allows you to back up or speed forward so that you can speed up some of these processes that you get bored with. Be careful not poke your eye when you're looking down at it. So, okay. I'm going to take the press button, check the fit. Now it's going to be now your thrust button sometimes has a little edge, and that little edge can prevent you from going in. But what we want to do is we're going to take away that little bitty edge of that thrust button just a little bit. There's sometimes a little bitty flare. I don't know how they make these, but sometimes they're a little bit of a flare on your thrust button. You can sand off with an emery board or a little file, just where you can get it in there nicely. And check the fit. Okay, it's a little way too snug, so I'll keep sanding away, testing sand, testing sand. Go slowly. Check. Okay, I went right in nicely. That's good. Almost two. So what I'm going to do is harden the, put a little wood, harden this wood up a little bit. I'm going to take some thin CA and go around that hole there to make sure that the wood is hardened in that little area, because it's going to be putting the thrust button in and out a few times. And then I'm going to lightly sand again, trying to see if it's going to be sticky on me. Okay. And then I'll put it back in. Yes, that's a nice fit. Nice snug fit. Now that's too tight to make adjustments with the thrust line washers. So what I have to do is I have to taper. I'll have to go in at an angle and taper the top side out. So I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle here. And I'm going to go around and back the top half as I'm cutting it in at an angle just a little bit, so I can tilt downward if I need to. I just went in there. I took that off a little bit at the top. That CA glue works good for making it harder to sand, and you don't take out as much. All right. That way, when I'm in, I need to tilt it down a little bit. It can be done. I got it loose, flat. Push it up, flush. You're flat. Pull it out just a little bit, and then it can allow it to be tilted forward or down a little bit. Okay. What I'm going to do now is make me some thrust line washers. I sand this just a touch more. So a little bit too much resistance there, so just a little bit more. Okay. So let's make some thrust line washers. Using the scrap box that come with it, you can see it's easily, it says this is a 1/20th stock. There's the size on it. Okay, now all I need is a piece the size of that black washer. So let's go ahead and cut that off, and there's that. Put a little square here. Again, just take a X-Acto knife or something, go right here in the middle, and you want to sand this a little bit or make a hole in a little bit, and then you go in here again with your sandpaper. I went big enough. Should go in, and what I'm wanting to do is I want it to fit the thrust bearing. So I'm going to go in here. I'm not worried about the outside edges right now. I just want to get it to fit a nice smooth fit, a tight fit actually. so it don't spin. I'm just easing out this hole and double check here to see how that's going to fit. I want it to fit in there. Go slow, take your time. There, and check it. When you start seeing it fit, okay, there you go. It's a nice fit. All right. Now we're going to take our plans here, because the goal is that you work from with what you got in the box. I'm going to now take some CA glue and I'm going to glue it to the paper. Here's some CA glue, which is stopped up already. They say to prevent your CA glue from stopping up, let's try this trick. Let's see if this works. Let's see if it works. This was a tip shared with me. Now let's try it out. Do I have pliers? Yeah, here's some pliers. All right, let's take the lid off. Let's unstop this thing. I gotta. Okay, I have the glue unstopped, and I'm using some chapstick. And they say to take the chapstick and rub it on the tip. Okay, or some Vaseline or chapstick, petroleum jelly or some kind. Okay, let's put this back in. Now I'm not supposed to have a stopped up tip anymore. Maybe that's just the okay. I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to put it right here on my plans here. I'm making a thrust line adjustment washer. Okay, plenty of glue, more than I need probably. But what that does, it hardens the balsa. I'm going to glue it down. Thin CA glue hardens the balsa better than the. I'm already stopped up on this one. Thin CA hardens the balsa better than the medium. All right. Now I'm going to cut that out. Get my scissors. Of course, the procedure is simple. We'll just take and poke that through the paper. Open up the hole. Take our sandpaper. And clean out the hole. Yep. Is my microphone still working? Yep, we're still on. Whatever counts. I've never needed more than 2 of these because I can stack one on top of the other and get more down thrust. Use some sandpaper here. So we got a nice clean area. It's not going through. Got to keep sanding. That glue really makes it, hardens up the wood nicely. Let's see if it fit now. Got to be careful here. It's easy to break this piece. Go slow and make sure you have it fitting. Okay, it went through, no problem. Then I just take my pencil, trace around it. Using my scissors, cut it out. Okay, I sand that down nicely to the line. Okay, now once it is that way, you flip it over. Well, I broke it, but that's all right. The paper will hold it. You turn it over. You look at the wood grain, and you want see how that folds easy that way. That means it breaks on the wood grain. What we're going to do now is we're going to lay it on the sandpaper lay it on your sandpaper. Don't turn it over. And I'm going to try to my fingers, and I'm going to hold it up at an angle. And I'm going to sand it down to the paper. I mean, I'm almost trying to get rid of all the balsa on one side. Just keep sanding away. Now it's very tedious. You may break a few of these, but once you get it used to it, I've got 80 grit. Let's go to a little finer grit. Maybe it'd be easier to slide with some finer grit. Yep. And holding it up with my fingers here, pushing down with my thumb. And I'm sanding it down, trying to make me a little wedge, a little washer wedge. And then once you get it, you'll know that you're getting it because it just feels right. Okay. And when you hold it up and look at it, you can see that you have a wedge that's the washer. All right. Now that is going to be thin, very breakable. But with that piece of paper on it, that limits it from breaking. So we try to get that taper to the halfway mark on the you want it at least halfway on the circle. Okay. Now I want to harden this little area again with some thin CA. So I'm going to get me a little piece of plastic here, lay it on the plastic, take some thin CA, and harden that little balsa, and it will stick to you. And once you got it stuck to you, you can twist your fingers or apply acetone. I don't like I'm getting stuck to myself quite a bit, but I just try to gently twist it. It'll turn you loose. Sand it down smoothly in. All right. That is my wedge that I will put the paper side tool in first. Okay. My paper side goes in towards where it needs to go. That way you have a flat. All right. Then, of course, when you have it back in your cowling, then you can turn it in different directions to get the right adjustment of the down thrust and all the angles. And if it does not allow you to, if it holds out at the bottom, then you have to add that taper inside you have to add a taper inside your cowling so that you can apply this down thrust to it. So, have to get that extra wood on the side out of the way so you can tilt it down. Be careful, don't overdo it. I'm adding one thrust button already because it just feels right to do it. That can be touched up with a little paint, black paint. You'd never see it hardly. And then that way you can turn it and give you a little right or a little left. Then that will go here. I'll use two little dap pins. This is a little piece of aluminum stock that I drilled some holes in. And the reason I do that is when I want some pins to hold my cowl on, a little plastic cowl, then I can take me a stringer and I can run it through the hole. Let's see, let's just take that part off. I'll run it through one hole and size it a little bit. Let's take that top patch for that. Okay, run it through the hole and then go to the next hole. Just go through your whole drill bit box, drilling holes into keep a square edge on there, then go to the next one. And then this makes you a little round dowel. By pulling them through. Once you have a nice little round dowel, then you can clip off a stringer and make it smooth. And this will be what holds my cowl into place. Push this on. Make sure it goes. Look, see if it goes all the way through. Using some scissors here, I'll clip it off. And then go to the other side. I spin it with my fingers sometimes a little bit to make it fit. Go in a little bit. Give a little bit of clip. All right, that is my nose block finished and ready for me to start covering. Okay, the landing gear. I think I spoke about it last. The landing gear, I don't try to add the little bend on the back end of the model. The reason I don't do that, that was the leftover wire that come with the kit. So what I want to do is I'm going to bend the wire down. I need a different type of pliers. I took me some needle nose pliers and I made my own little round nose pliers. So I'm going to take that right there, like this, and then I'm going to go in to make it centered. As you can see, I've done that. And this will be my tail wheel. I'll just come down a little bit and give it a bend to the back. Just like this. I'm not going to add that little extra L on the side. It is not needed. Well, it can be there, but I'm not going to try to make a rollable tail wheel. Okay. I will take my wheel. I literally just put it on one side. Make sure the wood grain, I'm going to lightly scratch this wood with the wire to make sure it's going to set inside the grain here good. Or I could actually push it, I guess. Okay. Now I'm going to cross grain the wheel with some CA. Line it up and give it a good hard push, flat against the table. Wait about 10 seconds or so. Medium CA takes a little longer to dry. Make sure we're dry. Okay. There is my wheel. It don't have that extra wire stuck out. It don't have all this extra little things. It's just it's not really there to work. You could probably make it work, but line this wood up, make it look clean, neat. And from this point here, you can add different things to the model to make it look more realistic. You know, you could put little paper side fairings on, and then this will get glued right back here. So again, using some medium CA glue down in this little hole, I will put this in place. Try to wait a minute. And to get it to stick good and be a little more secure, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of, you got to have that straight. I don't want a crooked. I'm going to take a little baking soda here The little baking soda will work as a gusset on top of that. Using this little stick here, I'm going to pick up a little bit of baking soda. I'm going to drop it down in that hole where that sits. Use the thin CA on top of that baking soda to wick in good solid. That is a permanent tail wheel right there. That will be there. Okay. There is my tail wheel on this model. Secure, as they say in sector rear. Okay. Now that will definitely work as a rudder. Uh-oh. I popped. What did I pop loose? I just loosened up the wheel. Well, I guess I could have maybe bent just a little bit down to where it just wasn't a straight shaft. But we're also living and learning too. I'm going to put a little thin CA right there, let it soak in again down next to that. I just twisted it so it would be straight. Happy with that. They get a little touch of paint on there and it could be fine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start covering the model now. I've got my elevator and rudder here. I'll clean up all my mess later. I'll get the tissue out. Take the tissue. I try to build lightly so I don't want my model to warp. So I pre-shrink my tissue. I'm going to get my tissue out like this. And I have a frame here that I will put this on. I'm not going to show you every aspect of this. I'm just going to get started here. And then my video is very lengthy, so thank you for watching. Thank you if you watched all this. I do appreciate you taking your time to watch this. And we thank you for building along. And I'm going to hang it up like this. I take the water and isopropyl alcohol. This makes it very wrinkly, but I don't care. I'd rather have 3 wrinkles and it not warp my model as to put it on and let it shrink up and damage the parts. So everybody's got their own ideas, own ways. This is me sharing mine in this build off, fly off that I'm been allowed to host. Thank you, Mr. Admin Thomas. Thank you. I'm pretty well weighted her down. All right, I'm going to have to pause here for a minute because you just don't want to watch water dry. Guys, I'm going to have to wait another day. It's going to take longer than I want to wait on doing this video. It's already 44 minutes. I'm going to try to edit this one just a little bit and short the time down. It just takes a lot of extra time to do that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to keep it raw, keep it as uncut. You know, if it, like I said, if you're in parts of the video that seems long drawn out, just hit your arrow to the right key on your keyboard and you can speed through some of these builds. areas that gets a little extended. But thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. I'm gonna let this dry, so maybe make another one this evening. Thank you. Bye.